Once again, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining the webinar with us today. Today is definitely very interesting as we've incorporated a few new subtopics. We've clubbed them all together and made it like a accumulative all new features in the last couple of months, starting from Bank Connect to the recent one, which is invoice deletion. I know now, like quite a few of you here are already connected to your bank, or you already know how text-to-speech works, but we are also going to talk a little bit about how it's done for the ones who are not already connected to their bank in uLaw, and why it's done, and what is the reason behind getting it done. How is it going to be helpful, and many more things. So even though you're already connected to your bank, if in case anyone here is connected to the bank already, I just request you to stick to the program because to the webinar, because we have a few other new features that we're going to be discussing today. So I've actually bifurcated this webinar into actually 4 parts. Part 1 of the agenda, like every other webinar, part 1 of the agenda is Bank Connect, and 2 is text-to-speech, how you could convert what you actually do talk into the mic for your description purposes. It's actually speech-to-text. Apologize, there's a minor error here. It's just unavoidable sometimes when you are too much into working. I apologize for that. It's actually speech to text, converting your speech into matter dockets as text. We're going to talk about how it works, how it's done. And the third part of today's agenda is email insights and daily digest. Very recently, uLaw has introduced this feature of emailing you every week, sometimes every day, depending upon the two, one of the two that, or both if you've selected or opted for the email insights option and daily digest option. So we're going to see how these emails can be helpful for you and or can be put to best use. And likewise, we're also going to see how you can enable this feature if you have not already enabled it. And last part of the topic for the day is invoice deletion. Very requested feature by all of you. I think this is something every one of us have been waiting for uLaw to introduce. And the day it was introduced, and I think I reached out to one of the clients who was actually waiting to delete an invoice the previous day. When I just sent this email saying, hey, here it is, we have the invoice deletion, go ahead and delete the invoice you were waiting to do. So this is definitely the most celebrated feature, I would say, of uLaw today, invoice deletion. But that doesn't mean I'm giving you all the freedom. There's going to be a little bit of, I would say, work around it. But again, it's possible to delete an invoice now. Yes, it is possible. You are hearing me right. That's one of the major part of the topic today. But like I said, I'm going to give equal importance to all 4 topics or all 4 subtopics for today's webinar, starting from Bank Connect to speech to text to email insights, daily digest, invoice deletion. So let's go in detail and start seeing how Bank Connect works. So prior to, if you're a long-time uLaw user, uLaw allows you to record transactions manually, right? Like you incur an expenditure, you have to go into the program to add it as either an office expense or a client expense. So that's typically how you do it. And if you want to basically you were manually working on it. You have to log into your bank or download a bank statement to see what has happened in your bank and replicate it in uLaw. And right now with this feature, what we have enabled and what has changed is two things. Definitely, you don't have to download the bank statement anymore if you're connected your bank with the program. So it allows you to download the bank statement automatically if you've connected with the program. And that is definitely going to be helpful for you, not just you, but also your entire team. If you have bookkeeper, if you have an assistant, you don't have to keep sharing statements with them, or they don't have to log into your bank to online portal to download the bank statements. Nothing. Just simply go into uLaw and connect the program, and uLaw will enable the users to download the bank statements for reconciliation purposes. That is point number one. And point number two, now with enabling Bank Connect with the program, you are also allowing us to integrate with your bank using our third-party service. We are able to import the transactions such as any expenditures or disbursements, or even other components like could be your legal fees for drawings and bank transfers to pay any payment towards credit cards. So any withdrawals, to put it in simple terms, any withdrawals from the bank for the general account can be imported using this Bank Connect feature. So I repeat, uLaw now can connect with your bank. We have introduced this feature with a sophisticated third-party user. You all might be knowing this third-party service called Plaid, which is what uLaw has partnered with to connect with your bank. It links with any major banks straight with uLaw. When I mean major banks, yes, all the major banks, all the major 5 banks of Canada, along with different regions. It's not just Ontario, different regions like ATB and PC, Financial, etc. So when it comes to importing, it allows you to delegate those expenditures, and by delegating, I mean it allows you to take action for the appropriate expenditure or withdrawal or bank transfers. And most of the information are captured there as per the date, the description, sometimes even the category of the expenses, because if it's a bank charges, uLaw knows that monthly fees is part of bank charges, and we are able to associate it with the description that bank or that uLaw captures from the bank statement, and directly enter all of those for you. And all that you have to do here is simply take a quick peek of it and make sure everything is in order. Of course, your date is completely grayed out. You can't even change the date, which means that you're only doing the rest of it, making sure that the category of the expense is right, the description is something that you wanted to be there, or you could just delete the description you see there and enter what is more appealing to you or understanding to you, and then you can make sure everything else, the amount, the taxes, the paid to, the method of payment, everything is fine. Just take a quick glance of what is being imported, and then you just have to take action to add it as either office expenses or bank transfer. Like I said, if you're paying a credit card, or if you're paying yourself, which is drawings, legal fee to your pay to yourself, right? We all don't forget that. Very important. So, and lastly, these are some things that I majorly come across. And lastly, you can also record your client expenses, which is disbursements, by importing it through the program. So through the third-party service which is Blade. So you no longer need to log in and manually add all this. You don't no longer need to leave uLaw, log into your bank, download the statement either in CSV format or PDF. If it's PDF, you're going to manually enter all of those. If it is CSV, you're going to import the CSV. That's something many of us were doing before, or many of you all were doing before. Now, all that you have to do is connect the bank and leave it to us, and we will do the import for you, and you just have to take action. So it's definitely going to be very helpful. Make sure that Bank Connect is something that all of you are doing it without hesitating. But now, how does it work? How to initiate Bank Connect? I know now a few of you have already reached out to support or could have reached out to our in-house bookkeepers or whoever is your bookkeeper from uLaw, or could have reached out to, just simply any spokesperson, one of us or staff, and asked us, hey, Gayatri, I see this email because every time uLaw launches a feature, we do our blog and then we do send you an information and tell you that, hey, this is a new feature, why don't you try it out? So we would have sent you some links, follow that. Otherwise, reach out to our support and take some help. But the important part of the webinar today, why did I bring up this topic, is I could tell you all in one go how it works. It's pretty simple, like you see here on the screenshot. We're all very familiarized with uLaw, right? So all that you have to do is make sure that you have your online banking credentials handy. That's point number one. So the online banking credentials that you have, either the client card number or you have a username and a password to enter to online bank. You have that handy. And you need to go into uLaw and go into the accounts section. This is where, this is on the left-hand side where we generally go into the reconciliation and other reports, right? So you go into accounts and you see this green color action button on the top, as you all see here on the screenshot. You click on the action and then you click on the administrator and then you see a connect bank. So the connect bank will actually take you to this Blade, our third-party service page. And it's a one-time task. Don't kind of get panic or, like frustrated thinking, hey, is this something, do I have to go through so many steps each time? No, honestly, no. This is just a one-time thing unless you don't have a two-factor authentication enabled with your bank. If there is a two-factor authentication enabled with your bank, this is not going to work for you. I'll let you know upfront. You have to make sure you turn that off and then you connect the bank with uLaw. Now it's a one-time task, connecting bank, and then things are pretty simple and efficient. You just have to make sure to click on Connect Bank as you see here on the screenshot, and then a new page comes up where all the left-hand side shows your bank accounts, which is trust, general, and credit card account. And then there's a center icon, which is bank icon, as you see here on this page. So you just have to make sure to click on the center icon, and then you will be able to bring up the Blade connection page. And once the Blade connection page comes up, you have to authenticate uLaw and Blade to log into your bank or to connect with your bank and pull up the transaction. So once you authenticate there, you will be brought back to this page. You have to do this individually for all the three line items there. Now, some people might not have trust. Some people might not have business credit card, but I'm 100% sure everyone has a general account. So at least the middle line item is put to use, but most of us who have all the three accounts can do it one by one by clicking on each center icon for each line item and ensure you authenticate one by one. And once you're back to this page where on the right-hand side, you see all your checkings account, savings account, and then the credit card. You have to make sure that each of those items on the left-hand side is aligned with the right-hand side or vice versa. That means the general account is assigned to general account, trust is assigned to trust, and credit card is assigned to credit card. Now, how do you identify it? A small tip. On the right-hand side where you see RBC, 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 end of those, if you click on the drop down, all of those bank accounts are seen. End of the line item, you will be able to see the bank account number, at least the last 3 or 4 digits of the bank account number. All that now you're going to do is make sure you identify the trust against trust, general against general, credit card against credit card. Now, once these 3 are done, you are able to click on submit. Just want to make sure you don't want to connect trust to the wrong general account or general to the trust, credit card to the trust, or vice versa, right? So just have to make sure that these accounts are initially set up properly, submit it, and then you can wait for about 24 hours until some banks give it immediately, get connected immediately. Some banks need up to 24 hours. So how do you test it? Now, once you submit it, there is something called import bank statement right beside add expense in your accounts page. When you click on import bank statement, you have a connect bank icon, which you can simply click there. I will be demonstrating you this now quickly so that we don't forget how it's done. And then you will be able to connect to the bank. Some points to remember, as you see here on the screen, make sure your two-factor authentication is turned off. Why? Because just imagine every time you log into your bank, you are sent an OTP. Okay, so now uLaw logs in at 1 a.m. in the night. I'm sure we cannot send you an OTP and ask you for that, right? So just a simple thing that keep in mind that if you don't want us to bother you at 1 a.m. in the night, just kidding. We cannot do that. If your two-factor is enabled, we will not even be able to pull up any statements. It might work one time, it might work for a few days, but within a week, you will again see a bank error message coming up. So first thing to remember in your mind, please turn off your two-factor authentication. Now you might ask me, Gayatri, then how else can I keep my bank account secured? There are several other ways. You can keep your security questions on. That has nothing to do with it. You can give enough security questions while you log in and make sure that it's not always two-factor authentication, right? Just have the security questions turned on and you should be fine, I think. Many of them do this. And the next one is make sure to connect appropriate bank accounts that we just discussed. Ensure everything on the left-hand side is aligned with everything on the right-hand side and you don't mess up with that. And the third thing, like I said, don't lose patience. Wait for 24 hours after you connect it. Sometimes it could come up immediately. Sometimes it could take as much as 24 hours. Even after you do that and you still don't have anything coming up in your current bank, reach out to us. Reach out on support@ulawpractice.com or just simply go to help and click on email uLaw support and let us know that, hey, I was trying to connect my bank and this is what is happening. It's more than 3 days. I still don't see anything coming up and this is the error message I'm getting. So just reach out to us and one of our staff members from support will be helping you with that. Now also, one important point to remember is not more than 1 month of transactions can be seen there at a time. For example, once you connect the bank, let's say we are in the month of September. So it's about end of September, almost 23rd, 24th. So let's say that now you are trying to connect the bank and you're looking for some transactions from August. I think up to 1 month prior, which is 10th of August or something, you would be able to see. Beyond that, let's say when you're trying to see July, no way. You cannot bring up any transactions from almost 30 to 45 days prior. So make sure that you are adding the transactions within 1 month. Don't let it be there. Ensure that you connect to the bank and keep adding transactions on a monthly basis. I'm not asking too much. I'm not saying daily basis. I'm only saying monthly basis. if it was my boss, he would have said daily basis. He would be like, oh, you know what, go open uLaw and add on a daily basis. I would still just say do it as per your convenience, but do it. That's all I mean. Try to do it within 30 days so that your transactions doesn't disappear. Okay, but the bank statements can be downloaded also for 1 month. So make sure you are giving it to your bookkeeper, the access you've given to your bookkeeper. Let them know that every month the statement will be available and they can take it from there. Okay. Now a little bit about how it's done. I want to show you how it's done using the uLaw account. Now I'm in my practice account. As you all see, we have about few accounts here. I'm going to go to Action. I'm going to go to Administrator and Connect Bank. So how I connected bank was simply by clicking on, I've already connected my bank, so it will not show up all of it. So I just have to simply click on, let's say none, 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 and then I submit it. And then I have to go into Administrator again, Connect Bank. And then let's say I click on one of this. I hope I remember the password. If not, I will have to go back and check it. Okay, let's say this is my password. Username. And let's say this is my password. So I just submit it. And the moment I submit it, it's authorizing. It's showing all my 3 accounts under the bank account using my client card. And then I again click for the other bank account. So it's taking me to the play page where it is asking me to authenticate. And once I authenticate, I have to give the client card number or the username password, and I will be giving up this credentials. Now, once I give up the given the credentials, I will be able to again go ahead and add the other bank account if I have. If I don't have, you could just stop with the 2 bank accounts and then go ahead and submit it. Just make sure that, like I said, they are aligned with the respective bank accounts that you see on the left-hand side. So I'm going to simply show you how it's going to be aligned, and you're going to be stunned to see how it works. Okay, so my left-hand side is pool trust account, general account, and business credit card. And on my right-hand side, I'm going to drop down and make sure this 0000 is my trust. And then 1111 is my general. 3333 is my credit card. Everything is good. Just simply go ahead and click on submit. Once that's done, ideally you should get connected immediately. If it doesn't get connected immediately, just wait up to 24 hours. So be a little patient, but just see where I'm going and clicking on Connect Bank. Once it's connected, right beside Add Expense or Payment on the top, you see there's Import Bank Statement. Once I click on Import Bank Statement, I don't have to worry about, like old ways, choosing a file, downloading a file, then having it on my desktop, bringing it in here, choosing the bank, and nothing. I just, can leave it as other. Simply click on Connect Bank, and you're going to see how all the transactions is going to show up. So far, I have 2 transactions. So I have 2 credit card payments that I've made. One of it is saying that I've already recorded it. Well and good. So other one needs a take action. So simply click on take action, and you know that credit card payment is nothing but a simple bank transfer from the general account, which is your operating account, to your other bank, which is your business credit card. And now if you have any reference number, well and good, go ahead and enter that there. If not, just leave it. So now the moment I clicked on it, it says complete. And for your bookkeepers or assistants, or even you yourself, if you're the one who's reconciling it, you can now fetch the bank statements very simply by clicking on bank statement. And all the transactions, all the debits and all the credits are being shown here respectively. So as simple as that, even though I spoke for 22, 23 minutes about the Bank Connect, it took me less than 3 minutes to connect the bank and input the transactions. So I request you all to try this at your end. and see how it enhances and how it is so efficient and allows you to work without any any more or any further time that is consumed. And it's definitely going to be very simple and helpful. Just make sure that you connect the right accounts and follow all the steps that we've so far discussed, and I think you should be good. All right, so I'm quickly moving on to the other part of the webinar today, which is about text-to-speech. Now that we have this new feature that is text-to-speech, which is quite, enticing. All of us are very excited because I love talking than typing, honestly, tell me. So you're so used to having it all entered, right? So speech to text is something that you're going to be able to simply speak into the mic of your device that you're using uLaw from, and it will convert the speech to text. And this is, I would just say meet your new digital legal assistant, because this is something that eliminates you the need to type. End of the day, I'm tired, but I'm never tired of talking, trust me. So make sure to enable this feature. And how do you enable this? What are a few things that you need to keep? So very recently now, uLaw brought up this feature for speech to text to be done directly. And where is it used to? It's not like you can talk anywhere in the program and it will convert what you're talking to text. I think the most important where we all type more in the program is matter description. So description under matter events, right? We all know that we use docketing in the program. And when the docketing is being put to use, definitely the description part is being entered with something, like, whether you did a court hearing or you have an upcoming hearing, what is the date, what is the time, blah, blah, blah. There's quite a few that we all type it into, but now if you click on the matter description tab, there's a tiny record button on at the bottom. You just have to simply enable your microphone on the device and hit the record button and start talking. Now, if you cannot start talking and keep the record button for hours together, every few seconds it will stop. You have to convert it speech to text, then again click on record and then start talking, and it will convert speech to text. So this is something that will definitely satisfy what you are talking. Is definitely going to get converted in the right way, unless and until you don't talk some language that the program cannot process. Now, again, from settings, you can choose your language, and there are several language options that we have. You just have to go into uLaw, go to settings on the top, and click on matter tab and scroll down to speech to text voice and choose the language and enable that option. So that's probably what you're having to do. It's definitely one such thing that uLaw has introduced, which I don't think any other platform of legal practice management has so far. I can very proudly say this was an innovation done by my development team, where the AI helps legal professionals to basically reduce time typing or conserve time and effort typing, and you can speak for your docket rather than typing. So it's quite a bit, but I think you all should try it out and give your feedback, see how the software has enabled and taken it to the next level, elevating it to the next phase of AI intervention here. And reducing the human intervention here rather. You don't have to at least type, but talking is still considered. I know the human intervention is still there, but at least we reduce the effort that you put into it. I'm sure we all talk faster than what we type, so the time is also saved a little bit there. So do try it out and let us know. But just to screenshot exactly depicts how it works and where do you see it. Where is this record button? Don't miss it. Two things you have to remember, or three things you have to remember. Number one, go to settings and matter and scroll down to speech to text and ensure you set up your language and etc. And number two, this record button that you see here on the screen is seen under each docket where you add, under each matter where you see new events or matter events, dockets, however you call it. And under or inside that description box, you will see this tiny record button in red. It will keep flashing actually. So you just have to click on that. You can actually even play what you've recorded. And then once you finish recording, you can simply click on the other icon you see on the extreme right of the screenshot, which is speech to text. It's pretty simple, not as heavy as what we discussed about Bank Connect. That's probably why I took a little bit more time. But I want to quickly show how this works. Okay, so you just have to simply go in here. Let's assume that you add a new event. Let's say this event is about court hearing. And you're probably going to add a description. If it was the old, before you had this feature, all that you were going to do is probably court hearing scheduled for, this is what you would be doing. But now, just simply click on record and see how it works. Court hearing scheduled for next Friday on 30th of September at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just simply click on stop, convert speech to text, and you will see how it gets quickly converted. Court hearing scheduled for next Friday on 30th of September at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As simple as that. I'm expecting a few wows in the chat window, but I hope you're all going to be using this and, give us your feedback. Yeah, there could be times when you don't pronounce a word, if you don't pronounce it clearly, I put it rather that way. There could be some, difference from what you're saying and what you're going to see here. So try to, you saw how I spoke. I spoke pretty normal, right? I don't have this accent. So try to keep your, try it out. First of all, try it out at your end, and I'm sure, we all try to talk with robots, so we're used to pausing or pronouncing it, pressing on the word. Try it out and let us know how it works, but it's pretty simple. So here under settings, you will see matter, and under matter, if you scroll down, you would actually be able to see that there is the speech to text at somewhere at the bottom, right below here. And you can make sure. I have set up my language as English US, so you could feel free to keep French, whatever you want. So there are other options also here as you see. And and then once you save it, it'll be saved to the preferred language to speak for the speech to text feature. All right, so quickly going back into slide, I hope we've covered a bit because we're almost 40 minutes or 35 minutes into the webinar. 35 minutes, I still have 25 minutes, so don't worry. I'll try to cover the rest 2 or 3 of the topics here. So going back again to the agenda, we have covered 2 important things or 2 interesting things, which is Bank Connect and speech to text. What is pending is email, InSights, and daily digest, and invoice delete feature. I'll come to it, don't worry. Invoice delete is something I know all of you are waiting for. That's why I kept it to the last. See the smart me? Just kidding. Okay, now here about email analytics. How does it work? And why do we have this feature introduced? Again, these are all some things that we have introduced in the past 2 months or even less than that. So email insights is something that you will have to subscribe to. Until you don't subscribe, we don't bother you. Okay, so our motive is not to bother you. Our motive is to help you analyze your data, help you analyze what we have to transform as information into your, into your brain. So make sure that you actually subscribe for uLaw Analytics email. And how do you do that? First of all, what does it do? And then I'll come to how do you do that. So uLaw InSights, it helps you give regular updates about the health of your firm. It's something that will give you an analytics about how your firm is doing today in terms of doing rather for a period. This is not email analytics, unlike Daily Digest, is not an everyday thing. It's probably a weekly report that you get. And 1 week you might get an invoice balance report. 1 week you might get something about your taxation. 1 week you might get something about your, other details about your accounts. So it's clearly different data that you get. It's not repetitive. And we try and break down your financial data over the past period, helping you to compare between your sales, your revenue, your taxes, your balances outstanding, or even one step further, what you have remaining in your trust for pending trust transfer, which means it's your money. Please move that immediately. So that's the kind of don't forget to pay yourself email that you get. Not every email, again, is saying make sure that you are going to be subscribing to this uLaw Analytics email. They're pretty informative. They're pretty useful information. It's not like we're going to throw out information on you, which is not relevant. It's pretty relevant. It's, to be honest, very helpful for you to decide whether, you have to move the money from trust to general, it's pending, or whether you need to ask your client for the balance outstanding and stuff like that. So, yeah, so make sure to subscribe so that you get regular updates with fresh information, again, non-repetitive. And it's all about health of your firm. We're all concerned about health of households, firm, everything is interlinked, right, after all. And these are totally AI-based, again, like how we saw speech to text. It's about how these reports are going to save cost and are going to basically help you, transform your business or your practice into next level. So, like I said, how to do this or how to enable this feature, it's pretty simple. It's going to be from settings. Again, like how we did for enabling your speech to text. This is also under settings, but this is under permission. Under permission, you have subscribed for uLaw Analytics email. Like what you're seeing on the screenshot right here, we took the screenshot that could be as relevant as it could be for doing it at your end. You can take a screenshot of this slide also, we don't mind. So make sure that you are going to be seeing these, permission, or rather giving permission for these analytics email. And uLaw helps you analyze data and provide you the email insights on a weekly basis. You can choose to read after that. So these are few examples that we put together to show you. If you've been noticing it, I'm sure many of you have reached out to us, in fact, asking, hey, this is so helpful. How do you do this? What does it mean? Can you explain a little bit to me? There have been people who've reached out support and asked me to explain further how it works. So I thought I'll put it as a webinar today for you all. So this is how email insights look. Don't panic. Too much data, numbers, don't panic at all. Just make sure you go through these numbers, the dates, the data in there. and understand what are we trying to say. This is something, all your expenses put together, or all your revenue put together, or your taxes that you've collected put together. Each report has a name we would be giving, and they're all, like I said, non-repetitive information. So it's very difficult to do it on your own. You have to go into each report and analyze it. Instead, we are accumulating it and sending it to you as a fresh report every week. All right, so do promise me that you're going to go and enable the email insights. Now, moving on to daily digest, which is also part of the emailing insights and information. But the difference between email insights and daily digest is pretty simple. Daily digest comes to you on a daily basis in the morning at 8 a.m. First thing you're going to hear is from uLaw. How exciting. I start my day the same way too. I get an 8 a.m. email from uLaw for my practice account that I use, saying, hey, this is what you have as a revenue, even though it's fake. I don't have any revenue in there. And, subscribe to this daily digest. Trust me, this is something that will help you to, know what is part of your daily calendar, rather what is part of your daily events from your calendar. So while email insights is going to give you analytical information, daily digest gives you information from your calendar. As soon as you wake up, you have an email, and the email from us tells you, basically summarizes your calendar for the day. Just as simple as that. Let's not complicate it. You just need to choose the day you want us to send it. Like, why choose a day? I work Monday to Friday. So people like me, I just go and select it Monday to Friday, and every day in the morning, I'll get a reminder from uLaw saying, hey, these are the events for you. 10 to 1, you have meeting, court hearing, you have, etc. And 2 to 5, you're free. Why don't you do something? And, you can then immediately start building your day. That's the purpose behind daily digest. We want to tell you while you're having coffee. We want to tell you from uLaw itself. You don't have to have several platforms telling you what to do. Today, you go online, you can have several free apps, but why have so many apps when uLaw can tell you these on an email and Crux give you the schedule? Okay, enable email, enable daily digest emails from your calendar, from settings, calendar, and we will send you your daily calendar and tell you this is what it is. So like I said, now if you're not choosing Monday to Friday, why there are so many other options? So some people have use their calendar only for court hearing, monitoring court hearings, and etc. So for them, maybe the court hearings are only, let's say, Monday and Thursday. So they can select only Monday and Thursday for these emails and have the calendar schedule sent to them every Monday and Thursday. So it's totally up to you. You can customize it and make sure the email will also, be sent to you on such days where you can plan your day well. Now, again, repeating it, it's done from settings, calendar, and scroll down to daily digest schedule and select the days on which you want to get this email from uLaw. It's pretty nice. We try to put some cute pictures for you and give you, this is how your day starts. So you see on the one on the left-hand side where at what time your meeting starts and what is the event title. And then the other one even shows you, in fact, what are the, on the top, right on the top, you see, hello, Roger, you have planned one event today, which is from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. And there are no events from 12 to 5 p.m. So have a wonderful day. So you can either shut down your laptop at 12 p.m. or you can choose to build more events for the rest of the day. So that is part of Daily Digest for you all. I hope you've got an enough idea about Daily Digest. I'm still within the timer that I promised all of you. At 2:45, we're going to discuss the topic, or rather the subtopic of the hour, invoice delete. So invoice delete, I'm excited. I don't know whether you're excited. So invoice delete is something, like I said, all of us have been wanting to wanting to use for a very long time. If you're a long-time uLaw user, I've been hearing this from people saying, Gayatri, when are we going to have delete invoice? And I was totally behind my development team, trying to bring it every day. Here we are now. So we have the invoice delete updated. Some of you have already started using it. Now, it's very simple to use. Again, not complicated. As long as I want to talk about it for hours together, I'm going to keep it very short. So invoice delete, how does it work? When do you have to be careful about it too? Two things I want to tell you. So invoice delete, why was it not that easy to bring this feature for us? So invoice delete is something that invoices are created as a legal professional, not just based on the work you have done, but also because you have money sitting in trust. There are so many things that goes behind it. You only see retainer and invoiced amount, but there are several things behind it about the date on which you receive money, the date on which you are invoicing, the date, and then the date it's getting converted as accounts receivable, and you're able to move the money from trust to general. There's so many things involved here. So make sure about a couple things. Since it's involving trust, you have to ensure that there is no money transferred from trust to general when you're trying to delete an invoice. Don't worry, uLaw will not allow you to delete an invoice if you have already partially moved some money from trust to general for that invoice. So, and also if it's for the previous quarter, again, we don't allow you to delete the invoice because it includes HST or your provincial taxes, and we don't want to mess up with those taxes for that quarter. So, couple things for you to remember is it has to be from this quarter, and the legal invoices should be carefully examined before you delete it. So ensure that the trust transfer has not been done, and the funds you are likely to handle is still there in the trust, and making sure that the invoice has not been partially paid. That is what I mean. Like, let's say you have received a client payment, even then you will not be able to delete an invoice because you've received a payment on it already. So why would you want to delete it? That is the idea. So don't get us wrong. We are only doing the right thing for you. Now, then why have this feature at all? Yeah, of course, if you have not received any payment on it, or if you have not transferred any funds yet from trust to general, you're still able to delete an invoice, and the HST on those invoices should pertain to the current period. So if I am in the quarter between July and September, let's say I'm on 1st of October trying to delete some invoice from 30th of July. I cannot do that because it is again going into the previous quarter. So make sure you follow these points, you remember these points, and that you follow these Law Society and CRA guidelines before you go and delete the invoice. Now, how to delete an invoice? Very, very simple. Make sure you first become an admin. We don't allow you to delete or edit anything unless you're an admin. So enable the admin mode by going into accounts, going into the top green button, which is action, going to administrator as you see on the screenshot, first top left screenshot that I'm referring to, and you click on enable admin. Once you enable admin, you will see the admin mode enabled button on the top of your screen. Just confirm, reconfirm twice, make sure you're an admin, and then go into matter. Once you go into matter, we are all very familiar with discount and reverse invoice. That's something that we've been doing as workaround instead of deleting invoice for ages now. So It's right under reverse invoice. And if you all don't know where is discount or reverse invoice, when you go to Matter, there is Action tab. And when you go to Action tab, there is Delete Invoice, which is the last line item that you see under Action. So this is an action on the top, not the one beside Matter Events or below Matter Events. This is an action on the top of the Matter. I'll be showing it to you in less than 2-3 minutes, okay? Now, and once you delete invoice, the other screen on the right-hand side comes up where it shows you the items on the invoice. There are only 2 items. It is bifurcated as legal fee and disbursements. You could have several disbursements or you could have several dockets, but we have categorized it as 2 items for you to delete the posting. You have to first release the docket. By releasing the docket, you have nothing to do with that docket anymore, as in it's not locked. It is released for you to make changes. And by deleting the posting is when your accounts which was affected with AR is going to be addressed. It is going to be deleted. You no more have anything in your accounts after deleting this posting. So make sure to release the docket so that you can go back, make changes on the same docket later, and delete the posting so that the accounts part of it is clarified, is cleared, is not there anymore. It is deleted from the accounts receivable or general account or trust amount lines or wherever. Okay, so these are the steps, pretty simple. I'm going to show you one example quickly, but in the meantime, there are some useful links here for you all if you want to take a screenshot, or don't worry, my colleague is going to put it at the end of the webinar once I give her a go ahead. And let's quickly go back in here to see how this looks. Now into my uLaw account, let's assume I raised this invoice previously. The invoice time is probably billable time of 452. So you see that I want to actually add this court hearing to that invoice. I forgot to add court hearing. So I want to make sure that I add this 30 minutes of time to that court hearing. So for that, I want to make sure that to bring it all under one invoice, I'm making sure there's no retainer. Oh, there's actually a client payment. So I have to get rid of this client payment. I'll come back and put it in. There's no worry. Just make a note of it. So go into accounts and make sure that you are becoming an admin first. So right now, just see how it works. You go to Matter and I go to Action and I want to delete the invoice. It will not allow me to delete this invoice. It shouldn't allow me because I've got the payment into the general account for that invoice. So it will say invoice has been paid. It doesn't allow me to release the docket. So immediately what I do is I go to my accounts and I know it is in my general account. I know this money was received in my general account. I delete the $450 client payment from there. That is the reason I actually became a recon admin also. So I simply click on the dollar symbol of the 452 and first delete this posting. And once I delete this posting, I go into Matters and I actually edit this item and ensure that the payment is being taken off. So the payment has been taken off, but I make note of this reference number. So I come back and put it in there. Don't worry. I'll come back and update this. Now this is gone. So now if I go and click on Action and click on Delete Invoice and go to Delete Invoice, it will show me Release Docket. Because I don't have any payment on it, I will release docket and I will delete the posting. So the accounts receivable is not there anymore. If you go to General, the invoice is gone. Otherwise, previously, I wish I showed you the previous screen. Previously, it was showing 452 here. Now it's not there anymore because I deleted it. Now I can go back in here. I see all my dockets is now deletable. I can delete it or I can bring it back. I can do whatever I want. I can make the changes. I can make this 36 minutes to probably 45 minutes or whatever I want. I can save it. Then I can raise a new invoice altogether, right? Just saving some time for you all, skipping the preview, downloading it. Now I have the new court hearing docket also added with my previous invoice. So as simple as that. The only thing that I had to do was get rid of that client payment. So now I'm going to put back the client payment of 452 that I received on, I think, 22nd. I entered the 452. I had copied that email transfer reference number, so I put it back here, and I say who paid me, and I give a receipt, and I can apply. This is a normal process that we all do. Now the balance amount is pending, owing from the client, which can be given by the client, and when the client gives you all, again, click on question mark, click on payments, and add the other payment that you received from the client. As simple as that. So the idea behind showing you all how the invoice deletion feature works is nothing but you have to ensure you don't have any client payment before deleting that invoice, because once you've received the payment, you cannot delete it. And then number two, you have not transferred any money from trust account to general account. And number three, for you to keep in mind is that HST is paid off. Even if the HST is paid off on those invoices, it should not be deleted because it affects the cash flow of HST reporting. So it applies HST, GST, PST, all of those. So make sure that you follow that Law Society and CRA guidelines before deleting the invoice. That's all I request you all to keep in mind. We're almost there, end of the webinar. I'm opening the floor for Ask Me Anything. Just the next 3 minutes to 4 minutes. I'm ready to even stay more than 5 minutes, honestly, as long as you're all there on the call with me. So try to, everything that we've discussed, right from Bank Connect to delete invoice. I'm not sure if I could convey it well, but I'm pretty sure I've conveyed each and every point that was very important to you all, including those email insights and daily digests. Why do you need them, and how to do it, how it works, and etc. These are some useful links. Steph, please go ahead and enter those links. I want all of you to make a note of those links. Please copy those links for today's topic. It's there on the chat window with topic-wise, Bank Connect, speech to text, email insights, daily digest, and delete invoice. And we also request all of you who, if you're not a current uLaw user, please go on to our website, uLaw.io. I'm entering that here for you. uLaw.io is our website use, of course, case sensitive. So uLaw.io, please make sure to go in, sign up for free 30-day trial. If you all have friends who are interested, do introduce us to them and refer a friend to us. There's a refer a friend program going on. Steph, please share those links here for them so that all of you can make a note of it, pass it on to your friends, or you can register for your friends and have them reach out to us, or we can reach out to them, vice versa. Both are available. And if you have any questions anytime, the best thing to do is click on help, click on email uLaw support. Okay, so we at uLaw support are here to assist you at any time. I mean, literally, at least give us 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. unless and until it's very important or urgent or emergency. You can always reach out to us. So make the best use of the support services that's available. And I know many of you here know me, but you can also reach out to Client Success Team if you have any questions and for any help. Support, please reach out to us on support@ulawpractice.com. Even that email ID has been entered by my colleague here. With this, I actually want to stop talking. I want to open the floor for you all to say something. Your feedbacks are really valuable to us, positive, negative, anything from today's topic. So we didn't want to bring up all the monotonous topics that we've been doing. Sometimes some people attend, some people don't attend, but I request all of you to, give us feedbacks, encourage us, and let us know what kind of topics you would like us to do. I mean, we still have 3 months to 4 months, 3.5 months to left out in the year, maybe let's say 1 quarter. And feel free to email us. I have some agenda set up for October, but I would love to bring in some topics from the regular attendees. At least I see a few of you are attending the program webinar regularly. So feel free to email us and let us know what kind of topics that you would like us to bring up here on the Friday webinars, and we'll be happy to talk about that. I know I said I'll stop talking, but since I don't see any questions, I could only think of 2 things. Either you all have mastered this topic along with me today, or all of you have put me on silent or turned down your volume and looking after your work. Could be only 2 things. I hope I was the former one. So feel free to email any CPD hours. No, sorry, there's no CPD today. I think it was clear on the email. But we do have CPD coming up, I think the week after next. I think the next CPD is in October, beginning of October. So yeah, do check it out. But you know what? I would just like to request you all whether, I know all of you have been very nice, kind, attending all the sessions with me. Try and attend as many as possible. Try to block your calendar 2 to 3. I know I'm a little selfish here asking that, but I just want more viewers. I just want just kidding. I just want you all to benefit from what we are sharing with you, because it's easier to do it in one go with all of you here. And I mean, there's nothing like making the best use of the time that we want to share all important topics, all important features, confusing features, complicated features, anything. Do send us email and we would try to do it as a webinar for you, so that way a lot of others like you are also getting benefited. Thank you all. I stop with this. I thank each and every one personally, officially, for joining the webinar today. It was really nice having all of you here. And for any questions, please reach out to us on support@ulawpractice.com. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.